It is officially happening, Broncos Country, and we are kicking off the 2026 season with the ultimate heavyweight clash under the Monday Night Football spotlight. Our Denver Broncos are going toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs right out of the gate, setting the stage for a monumental showdown between two star quarterbacks returning from season-ending injuries. This isn't just a game, this is our golden opportunity to rip the AFC West crown from their grasp and prove that our era of dominance has finally arrived. If you bleed orange and blue and want to ride this hype train all season long, make sure to smash that like button, share this with a fellow fan, and subscribe right now. Can you imagine a better way to ignite this highly anticipated revenge tour than by completely derailing our most hated division rival on national television? The news just dropped, and it has sent absolute shockwaves through the entire fan base. We are opening the entire schedule against Kansas City. Let that reality sink in for a moment. The schedule makers did not want to wait to give the fans what they want. They wanted the drama, the tension, and the fireworks right immediately in week 1. But here is the massive elephant in the room that has everyone talking. We still do not have official confirmation on the venue. We are all waiting on pins and needles to see if this epic battle happens in the thin air of Empower Field at Mile High, or if we are marching straight into the hostile, deafening territory of Arrowhead Stadium. There is a massive debate raging right now among insiders and diehard fans alike about what scenario actually gives our team the biggest edge. Some analysts strongly argue that the league front office would absolutely never force a recovering superstar quarterback to open up on the road in a hostile environment like Denver. They are entirely convinced this is destined to be an away game for us. Others are pounding the table with incredible passion, saying that getting this brutal road test out of the way in the beautiful month of September is the ultimate blessing in disguise for our playoff push later in the year. I want to hear from every single one of you right now because this debate is completely tearing the fanbase apart. Question of the day: do you want this Monday Night Football opener to be a glorious home game in Denver, or would you rather take the fight to Arrowhead immediately and get that nasty road trip off our schedule? Let me know your exact thoughts in the comments down below. Personally, I am leaning heavily toward getting this game on the road, and here is exactly why I feel so strongly about it. Think back to that brutal, freezing Christmas night game we all endured. Arrowhead Stadium in December is a frozen, miserable gauntlet that tests the limits of human endurance. It is an absolute nightmare scenario for any visiting team, especially when playoff seeding is on the line. If we travel there in September instead, the weather is going to be absolutely gorgeous, the field conditions will be pristine, and we completely dodge that treacherous late-season snowstorm trap that has derailed so many promising campaigns. Furthermore, we have to talk about the physical reality of the situation regarding their sideline. Their franchise quarterback blew out his ACL incredibly late last year, after his team was already hopelessly out of the playoff picture. The human body takes time to heal. Only a select few superhuman athletes, like the legendary Adrian Peterson, have ever rushed back from that kind of devastating knee injury so quickly and actually performed at an elite level. I am absolutely not saying their quarterback will not eventually return to his Hall of Fame form, but for week 1 of a grueling season. He is going to be hobbled. He is going to be hesitant. He will not be moving at 100%, and his pocket mobility will be severely compromised. Now, just visualize a compromised, hesitant quarterback dropping back to pass on primetime television with our fully healthy, absolutely terrifying pass rush pinning their ears back. You have Nick Bonitto screaming off one edge like a relentless heat-seeking missile. You have Jonathan Cooper turning the corner with immense power on the opposite side. That is a waking nightmare for any offensive line trying to protect a stationary target. Our defensive front is completely healthy, primed, and ready to feast on a wounded opponent. Then we have our own undisputed leader, the man who has completely changed the culture of this franchise, Bo Nix. When Bo looks across the field at this so-called rivalry, he has to be laughing internally. To him, this opposing team is just a stepping stone. He has absolutely owned them since the moment he put on a Broncos uniform. In his highly successful tenure as our franchise quarterback, he has drastically outplayed them for practically every single quarter they have matched up. Aside from one heartbreaking blocked field goal that unjustly stole a victory away in Arrowhead, Bo Nix has essentially been a flawless executioner against their defensive scheme. He is not scared of that stadium, he is not intimidated by their loud fans, and he certainly is not afraid of the national spotlight. I know the national media talking heads love to push the tired, outdated narrative that Kansas City still somehow owns the Denver Broncos. They constantly bring up historical win-loss records, loudly claiming their guy is 13-2 overall against us. They love to desperately point out that 2 of Bo Nix's spectacular victories happened under slightly different circumstances. They love to remind us that one win came when their starter was benched for rest after clinching a seed, and the other occurred on that freezing Christmas night when their starter was already sitting on injured reserve. Sure, technically, the statisticians might have a point about the head-to-head stat sheet, but context is everything in this league. Bo Nix suffered his own heartbreaking playoff injury, and now we are presented with the ultimate Hollywood script. 2 star quarterbacks, both returning from devastating season-ending injuries, clashing under the brightest lights of Monday Night Football. The drama, the tension, and the storylines heading into this opening game are going to be absolutely off the charts. Let us also talk about the maestro pulling the strings on our sideline, head coach Sean Payton. When the lights shine the absolute brightest, Sean Payton transforms into an unstoppable tactical genius. The historical statistics completely back this up. Ever since he took the reins of this organization, his prime-time record is flawless. Remember that massive, unforgettable Monday Night Football upset over the Buffalo Bills early in his tenure. He thrives under immense pressure. He is currently undefeated in these massive spotlight games with our franchise, and there is zero chance that trend changes to kick off this incredibly vital campaign. And there is an incredibly sneaky, under-the-radar advantage we hold heading into this specific Week 1 matchup. Look closely at their defense. They are in absolute salary cap hell right now. They had to frantically ship off an all-pro caliber cornerback in Trent McDuffie for practically pennies on the dollar, totally overhauling their once-dominant secondary with unproven rookies and practice squad bodies. I honestly believe that if you walked past their defensive backs in a local grocery store, you would not recognize a single one of them. Names like Mansour Delane might ring a tiny bell for hardcore draft nerds, but mostly, it is a squad of complete unknowns trying to learn a complex system. While their defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, is undoubtedly a defensive mastermind who might eventually patch that unit together by the middle of November, in Week 1. They are going to be completely lost and utterly confused. And guess who gets to make his grand, highly anticipated debut in orange and blue against this extremely vulnerable, patchwork secondary? Jaylen Waddle. It is an absolute dream scenario. Bo Nix is going to be throwing absolute lasers all over the field, and Jaylen Waddle is going to run absolute circles around these terrified rookies. It is going to look like an Olympic track meet, and we easily possess the fastest guys on the turf. The sheer magnitude of this scheduling decision proves something massive that we have all been waiting for. The National Football League finally believes in the Denver Broncos again. Think back to just a few short years ago, when our offense was a total sham, a complete embarrassment, and the entire league collectively groaned when we were shoved onto Thursday Night Football for our one lonely, miserable spotlight game. Last year, we demanded respect through our play and rightfully earned 5 highly coveted primetime slots. This year, starting with a Monday Night Football blockbuster, we are fully expecting to receive the maximum allotted 6 primetime games. We have massive, season-defining showdowns looming against the Patriots, the Buffalo Bills, the Chargers, the Seahawks, and potentially even the Los Angeles Rams. Any of those matchups could easily be flexed into a prime-time viewing slot. The NFL executives know we are absolute box office gold now. They know this resilient team is built to last, and this high level of national exposure is our glorious new normal. Finally, playing this specific opponent in Week 1 is a massive strategic blessing because they are a thoroughly known commodity. Look at the rest of our dangerous schedule. The division rival Chargers just brought in Mike McDaniel as their brand new offensive coordinator. He is going to completely reinvent their system from the ground up. The Buffalo Bills have entirely gutted and replaced their coaching staff from top to bottom, implementing entirely new philosophies. If we played those unpredictable teams in Week 1, Sean Payton would be flying completely blind with absolutely zero current game film on their new schemes. Sean Payton operates like a maniacal supercomputer. He obsesses over the tiniest, most microscopic details of the game. He needs to see film to decode the opponent's tendencies so he can ruthlessly and systematically exploit them. He usually hits his peak genius level in the month of October because by then, he has a solid month of fresh tape to dissect and analyze. But with Andy Reid and Kansas City, we already know exactly what they are going to do. There are absolutely no surprises hiding up their sleeves. They have the exact same head coach, the exact same offensive system, and the exact same predictable tendencies. Sean Payton already possesses the precise blueprints required to dismantle them piece by piece. This is the absolute perfect storm for Broncos country. We are going to confidently walk out of Week 1 with a commanding 1-0 lead in the highly competitive AFC West. Bo Nix is going to emphatically remind the entire world exactly who runs this division. Our ferocious pass rush is going to relentlessly feast on a recovering quarterback, and the entire league is going to be put on immediate notice. This upcoming season is going to be a masterpiece, and our rivals will never catch us once we take this commanding early lead.